So lesson 8.1 is on finding the circumference of circles and the circumference of semicircles, as well as being able to translate between the radius of a circle and the diameter of a circle. Okay, so we're gearing more towards circles in this chapter, and the circumference is the distance around the circle. So it's kind of like a perimeter of other objects that we've had in the past where we add up all the sides. But in a circle, we do not have sides, all right? It's just like a continuous line here, I guess you could say, or like a circle. It has doesn't have any sides, so we aren't able to really add sides. So we use circumference, which is like the perimeter. It's just the distance around an object, but specifically circles, okay? Radius, all right, that's the distance from the middle of the circle to an outside edge, okay? So the radius in this example is this red line, so it's from the middle to the outside. And the diameter is the distance that's all the way across the circle. And I don't know if I said it, but the circumference, it would be obviously the black, the full outside part of the circle, okay? Now, there is a relationship between the diameter and the radius, okay? The diameter is twice the size as, or the length as the radius, and the radius, you could say, would be half the length of the diameter. So if I knew my diameter was 10, okay, that would mean that the radius would be 5. That's just half of the length. Or if I knew my radius was 12, okay, the diameter then would be 24, okay? So the radius is the distance that's halfway across, right? The diameter is the distance that's all the way across, okay? All right, our formula to find the circumference of a circle, which would be our outside area here, is to take 3.14, or we say pi, okay? Pi, we use 3.14 times d, the diameter. So we're going to have to find the distance that's all the way across the circle. All right, and if I have a semicircle, or we would call it like a half circle, you're just going to take, same thing, 3.14 times the diameter, and then just divide that by 2. So I have a couple examples here. All right, here I have given you the diameter. I have given you the distance all the way across, and that diameter is 8 units. Okay, so my formula tells me to find the circumference, that's what we're trying to find, C, is to take 3.14 times the diameter. My diameter is 8, so I'm just going to take 3.14 and multiply it by 8. And I have 2 total numbers behind the decimal, so I move it back 2 times. So that is 25 and 12 units. Okay, and it's in, actually no, this is circumference. Okay, so this is distance. So it's just, that was area that I was trying to put there, so that's, don't mind that. So it's just 25 and 12 units, okay? So if I don't give you a specific label like feet, inches, you will just use units, all right? So that means the distance around this, if the distance across was 8, the distance all the way around the circle would be 25.12 units, okay? Next one. In this case, I only gave you the radius, so you gotta kind of convert a little bit because we need to know the diameter when I find the circumference, okay? So the diameter would be 4. If this is 2 from here to here, well, this would also be 2. So 2 and 2 is 4. So like what we said up there, the diameter is twice the size of the radius. So we're going to take 3.14. In this case, we're going to multiply by our diameter, which is 4. Right? Since the radius was 2, the diameter is 4. Two numbers are behind the decimal in our problem, so I move it back 2 times. And then 12.56 units, or 12 and 56 hundredths units, okay? All right, last example. Here, I have a semicircle, or half of a circle. So what we're gonna essentially do is find the circumference of what it would be if it was an entire circle, but then we're just gonna divide it by 2. We're just gonna cut it in half, okay? So here, the distance all the way across the circle is 6, so that is my diameter. So I'm gonna take 3.14 times 6, move back twice. That would be the circumference if this was a continuous full circle, but it's only half of a circle, so I only want to know what half of that is. So I need to take that number, and like my formula tells me to do, divide it by 2. My 4, 2 goes into 4, 2 times. So 9.42, or 9 and 42 hundredths units. Okay, so when you have a half circle, don't forget to divide by 2. All right, homework is on page 321 and 322. We're going to do a 3 through 11 and 17 through 19.